To me, this is the story of a man who's on a jog and essentially was chased down by people who thought they were being vigilantes, and due to their own racial bias,
that was
they killed him. I know a lot of people wanted us to cover it. Personally, when I first came to me, I don't know what it is about these stories. I find them so exhausting. Like every time I read them, I just feel like, I just feel so tired whenever I see one of these. And it's hard because you understand that apathy and inaction in these kind of scenarios does us more harm, but it's hard not to be discouraged when it comes to this case. Now, some of you might say, look, Abba, they're pressing charges. This is good news. But what I'm really bothered by is that the only reason that this is being brought up, and this is being brought up on charges, is because the outrage.
Not because of the video. They press charges. They press charges not because they saw the video, but because we saw the video.
Well, they had the video for months.
Yes.
Right.
But once it got leaked to us and it was outrage, and you know what? I was not big on outrage. I'm like, man, you're gonna talk and everything's like, what's gonna happen? You're gonna go down the street, you're gonna be posting and stuff like that, retweeting, Instagramming, you're gonna put some stuff on Facebook. What is it gonna do? Shit, now I know. Because it's the outrage that did that. The fact that they pushed it. It's the outrage. Nothing else.
So what, you saying now you're big on outrage?
I'm not big on it, but I'm just, like you said, tired. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah. Look,
I'm not big on it.
This isn't tenable. Justice should be served, but it shouldn't be served on the basis of everyone getting on their social medias and screaming at the top of their lungs. We shouldn't have to watch videos of people being gunned down and traumatizing ourselves so that people can take action that are adequate. That's absurd to me. That we have to constantly get on this stuff and take in all these criminal cases all the time in order for things to start moving. That's ridiculous. And you know, when people talk about, well, systemic isms aren't real, there's no such thing as systemic, this is a perfect case. Talking about people basically covering for each other because they work together. You're talking about people ignoring the letter of the law.
You know what? That's my homie. He good, and it was just like that. I'm going to retire myself from the whole thing. I'm going to just move away. But just know that, you know what? I'm going to move away, but I got this letter for you.
Right? And they sat on this. They sat on this for months. And it just comes to that old thing where it's just like, how many times does this happen without video? The only reason this is out is because the third person who was chasing, who was the neighbor, decided to be a goofball and recorded, and it incriminated himself. That's the only reason. They had to truly fuck up for us to know that they fucked up.
Because if there was no video...
Let me say that again. They had to really fuck up for us to know that they fucked up. Otherwise, every other time it happens, every other time that someone's a little bit smarter and knows how to do it a little bit better, they get away with it. And it's frustrating because then you start to cycle through your own lived experiences where you know bad shit happened and you can't do nothing about it because there's no cameras present and no one else is there and no one's going to believe it, so you have to move on. But it's just like, oh, we believe in this one, and it's frustrating because there's footage and there's almost very little that's being done. But imagine every single time there's no cameras, every time they turn off their body cams in departments where they don't have it. This happens way more than you guys think.
Whenever they said, you know what, we're going to put body cams on the cops, and the cops said, you know what, no, we're not putting body cams on. Why? Why does it bother you so much that you have a cam while you're doing your job? When you know there's been fuck up. And you're like, no, there's not been fuck up. Okay, we're going to put a cam. No cam. Why do you get so aggressive when I'm filming? Something that I'm allowed to do. Which brings me to another point. Again, the same thing with outrage. I was not so big on owning a gun. I didn't understand. Why would you need a gun? Why would you have a gun? Why would you legally need a gun? A handgun on you. Open carry. Now I get it. If I was a citizen of the state, and I'm black, minute I'm 18, I would get a gun. That's for sure. The whole family would be packing. The whole family. Because I can't count on the system. The system ain't got my back. I can't do nothing about that, so I gotta protect myself.
Well, listen, when the justice system ignores your crimes because you used to work at the department, or your son used to be an investigator, or your father used to work at the DA's office, to me, that's indication of a problem.
Absolutely. So I understand all the people that are advocating for protecting yourself. I get it.
These stories shouldn't make it to social media. They shouldn't. They should be handled appropriately through the judicial system, and we want to believe, but we don't. And so that's why we see the video, we see nothing happening. It's like, oh, this shit again.
It should have been from the jump. It should have been the police department that should have handled this.
And I don't want to see nobody.
How do I know this?
I don't want to see nobody writing, well, he ran towards them. Boo-boo. According to their own testimony, meaning the father and the son, they say that they chased him. They say that they almost stopped him, then he ran the other direction, and they ran to cut him off. So he wasn't running towards them. They were waiting in amp.
There was
one behind and one in front. Like, where do you want the person to go? Well, then, why did he get an altercation? Someone's chasing you with guns, telling you to stop. You don't know who they are. They say they want to arrest you. You've never met these people. You're just going to go in their car?
You're not the police.
What?
Are you dumb?
We just want to talk to you. Why do you have your guns with you? Am I supposed to trust you? You've been chasing me down with cars, yelling at me. Who knows what they fucking said?
Something I don't know.
Fuck, man.
Nah.
Nah. That's goofy, B. That's crazy to me. That's crazy. Ugh. Oh, no. I find these videos tiring. I didn't even want to do this one, but at the end of the day, if you don't say nothing, then you can't expect change, you know? Yeah. It's one thing to be, stoic and to kind of reserve your emotions and try to just control what you can control. Maybe we don't have much control, but I think without engaging in public discourse, without talking about these things, we can't hope for them to change. Without bringing light to the fact that there are these injustices, you can't hope for the system to change. So I don't think we can turn a blind eye to these kind of things, even if it makes us uncomfortable, even if it is a fucking chore to have to talk about, and it's so goddamn taxing. You have to. If you want things to change, it has to be discussed. We can't sweep it under the rug because this is the standard. The standard won't change unless it's discussed, unless it's constantly brought to light. Change is gradual. There have been slight progress, but not enough. And this is another indication of the fact that we haven't moved that needle far enough.
And the fight is not over, so we still need to talk about it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Even though you're like, I can't believe in 2020, the date doesn't mean anything, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
We still have to talk about it. We still have to be here in front of this camera talking to you about this and the outrage that happens.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Fortunately. So, yeah.
That was lynching 2020. Lynching 2.0. That was a little old mob. A son, a father, the neighbor. Let's chase them down because they did something wrong.
Yeah. So we want to know your thoughts. What do you guys think about this story? How do you guys feel about it? What do you guys think about, the judicial system? Do you guys have faith in it? Do you not? We want to hear your thoughts. Let us know. So I'm going to tell you guys. So essentially, a man was shot and killed in Georgia approximately 2 months ago, back in February. And so the details of the case were a little hazy to the public until recently. But essentially what ended up happening was Ahmaud, according to the family, was jogging when he was approached by two cars, one containing a father and a son with guns, and then another car that was behind it. When that happened, Ahmaud ran the other way. The car circled around, cut him off at a different point, was waiting for him there. And then there was a second car, which was behind Ahmaud, following him. So they kind of had him on both ends. Then there's a struggle that ensued when the son started having an altercation with Ahmaud. And basically, the shotgun, he fired it at Ahmaud during the struggle, killing him at that point. Basically what the father and the son claim is that there have been a string of break-ins and that the father had seen Ahmaud at one of the house casing it out. So he suspected it was Ahmaud. He saw him at night, said he fit the same description when he saw him the next day jogging. When he saw him the next time jogging. And so he's like, that's the same guy who I saw. He's been peering in windows. We think he's suspicious. They called 911. this case is super complicated. I think why it's complicated is because there's a lot of moving parts, and to kind of wrap your head around everything's a little bit tough. But essentially, when the police arrived, they took the witness testimonies. They basically said this was self-defense. He attacked us. We were trying to perform a citizen's arrest, and so therefore this is legal. Okay, that's what they claim. Now, the first prosecutor came on, basically had to recuse themselves because there was a conflict of interest, considering that I believe one of them was a retired private detective.
One is a
private investigator.
One is a retired cop, detective, and the other one the son worked at the DA's office.
So the first prosecutor recused themselves. The second one also did the same thing due to conflict of interest, but they actually wrote a letter saying this was self-defense. These people were performing citizen's arrest, and the altercation ensued. As a result, it's self-defense. Problem with that is that they never saw Ahmaud in the process of a crime, or they weren't witness to anything like that. So you can't perform a citizen's arrest and then claim self-defense in that scenario because you actually have to witness it.
And that is very clear in what a citizen arrest is.
Right.
In that state.
So the third prosecutor came on, and things kind of moved really, really slow for a couple months, and then the video was uploaded anonymously to the internet, which caused a firestorm. And at which point, once it was uploaded to the internet and caused a firestorm, the prosecutor decided to put it to a grand jury to determine if they're going to indict. To be clear, a prosecutor can press charges right away if he wants to, but they put it to a grand jury to determine if there's enough evidence to push it towards it. And I'm not going to show the video of because to me it was pretty, I don't like to use the word triggering, but it's pretty much the only one I could think of. When I saw it, I was like, fuck, I can't watch this.
But it's not going to help anything. You probably have seen the video, and if you haven't, you don't have to.
And if you want to, you can find it. It's not difficult to find. To me, I don't want to watch it again. It's just tiring. That's